Hey guys, so I am excited to share with you my first zines. I created 2 zines for the first time ever and I am very nervous and excited to share them with you guys. I'm going to go over the thought process behind the books and behind the pictures and maybe show you guys how I created them, where you can pick them up if you want to buy a copy, so stick around for that. So I mentioned before on my channel and on my website that since I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, I've had a lot of issues. I've been very sick for a long time, and that means obviously that I've been in a lot of hospitals, and I've also gone to a lot of doctor's appointments, and it's created a lot of anxiety for me. I've been diagnosed with PTSD and severe anxiety, and I've had a hard time coping with it over the past 10 years, but when I started shooting film, it kind of opened up a new avenue for me to channel that anxiety, and has kind of served as a stress release and something to distract me from my anxiety when I'm going to and from doctor's appointments. I noticed that the pictures I was taking on these trips was starting to pile up, and I thought that I should start creating them in a more intentional way. So I started to put them aside and put them in a folder on my computer, and I came up with the title Riding in Cars with Film. I wanted to be able to share them with you guys in a way other than Instagram or on my blog, other than a digital format. I've always wanted to create a photo book. That is my ultimate dream. My ultimate goal is to one day have a body of work that I can actually put in a photo book and sell somewhere. Maybe one day that'll happen, I don't know, but until then, I love the idea of a zine. If you're in the film community for a while, you may have purchased some yourself from people, you may have just heard about them, but they are short form magazines. Usually they're handmade, and I think they started in the skater, kids taking pictures of each other, skateboarding and all that, and they would create them themselves, kind of like a scrapbook, and they would pass them around to their friends. But in the film community, it's kind of a short form way that we can share our work in person, in hand, instead of just digitally. So I ended up creating 2 different books, one in color and one in black and white, because I didn't want to mix them up. I thought it would be more cohesive and smoother if the color film was in one book and the black and white was in another. So first I'm going to go over the black and white book because it's the first one in the series. And when you open it up, it's just got a picture on one side and then a picture I took from my car window. And I'm just going to read the intro page because that pretty much sums up what the zine is about, and I'll flip through my pictures while I do so. So I've decided to make this zine with some of my favorite shots taken while riding in cars with film, in hopes to inspire others with chronic illness, disabilities, and any limitation to still get out there and live your passion. The following pictures are all black and white shots. It gives you a glimpse into my hometown and towns nearby. I started using a camera as sort of my emotional support item after being in the hospital for Crohn's disease flare-up in the summer of 2019. It has helped me tremendously when I'm feeling anxious about going to doctor's appointments and procedures. I'm blissfully distracted as I look out the window for anything that will catch my eye. The challenge is trying to take a good shot while in a moving car. It is always exciting to get home after an appointment, develop my film, and see if anything I shot will be in focus and exposed correctly. It also serves as a crash course in exposure and composition because you have to make your decisions quickly. Where there's a will, there's a way. Don't let anything stop you. As always, stay motivated and keep shooting. Allie. So that was basically the gist of the reason that I created this book and this series. And at first it wasn't supposed to be a series, but because it's something I enjoy so much, taking these pictures on these car rides, I think I will probably continue to create these, even if it's just for myself. But I do hope that you guys will enjoy them too. Now the second book, Riding in Cars with Color Film, is basically the same thing. All of the pictures are 35mm taken with various SLRs I have in my collection. So I'm just going to do the same thing with this zine. I'm going to show you the pictures while I read the introduction page. Photography has become my therapy and my savior. It keeps me preoccupied when my nerves get to me on the way to doctor's appointments and procedures throughout my dealings with Crohn's disease. It also has helped me to really see and appreciate my hometown. All of these photos were taken from the passenger side of a moving car on film with analog cameras. I used several films such as Kodak Portra, Kodak Gold, and Fuji Superia Extra. It is a challenge to take photos from a moving car, but that is part of the fun and distraction. I've also made a black and white version of riding in cars with film that includes only pictures taken on black and white film, and it goes with this series. I hope to make more zines like this in the future because I know riding in cars with film will continue to be my favorite pastime. Maybe it will be that for you as well. I hope this zine inspires others with disabilities or limitations to continue to live their passions no matter what form that takes for you. As always, stay motivated and keep shooting. Allie. So those are the two books. I just wanted to give you a preview of them. So now I'm just going to go over a little bit about the process that went into creating the books themselves. There are obviously several options that you can go about making a zine. We're creatives by nature, so you can get as creative as you wish with them, but you also have to realize the more creative you get, the more expensive it's going to cost to actually create the book itself and to distribute it. So I didn't go with a local printer for that reason, because I knew the more customizations I put into it, the more expensive it would be. So I went with MagCloud to create my zines, and you simply just go to their website, hit create, and they give you the option to download a template. And you can download a template for InDesign, Photoshop, Pages, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Publisher, or Quark Express. I used InDesign. So then you can download your template according to whichever file you're wanting to create. So they give you step-by-step instructions on how to create the file itself using the template, and then they also give you step-by-step instructions on how to then export your file as a PDF so that you can then upload it to MagCloud. And see here, this is where you would upload your project, and then you would put in the name of it, what type of project it is, and then you would upload your PDF and go from there. So MagCloud is a really good option for this. I know there's others out there like Blurb, which is associated with MagCloud. I didn't use Blurb because they didn't have the square format that I wanted to use, that I had in mind for my project. Before I settled on this final product, I created one with saddle stitch binding, and the paper was a little bit thinner than this and just wasn't what I liked and what I wanted and what I had envisioned for this book, so I went with perfect binding because the paper was thicker. Now the square format publications are a little more expensive, which means you're not going to be able to mark them up as much as you could with other formats when you sell them. But since it is a labor of love type of thing and you just want to get your work out there in other people's hands, that may not be an issue for you. But if you are looking to be able to make a little more money off of your book, you could go the route of the magazine format. My good friend Bill Smith from Classic Camera Revival podcast, he created several magazines with his work, which I've purchased almost all of them, and you can see they're bigger, and when you compare them, see, here's mine. This is the square publication, and then this is the magazine format, and your pictures will be nice and big. For me, it just didn't suit the types of pictures I took. I wanted my pictures to be a little bit smaller. Bill's work is all landscape photography around town in Canada where he lives. He's got this one in color called After Dark, and they're all pictures taken after dark in Canada. And then he's got Toronto in the gray season, and this is black and white photos, obviously taken in Toronto. So I'll be sure to leave a link down below where you can purchase these. But I wanted to show you that this is what the magazine format looks like, and it looks like he also chose perfect binding, which is better quality than saddle stitch. And then here again is my square format, so it's a little bit smaller. But there's all sorts of things out there that you can research and find that suits your creative vision. That's it. That's how I created mine, and I hope that helped you if you're thinking about creating a zine of your work as well. So my 2 zines are now available on MagCloud. I'm going to leave the link down below for you to purchase them. And if you decide to purchase one or both of them, either way, I appreciate it so much, and I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy them and enjoy the pictures. I'm not sure how long I'm going to leave them up there for purchase. I'm definitely not going to still have them up there next year unless I decide to do another print run of them. But I'm just going to do it for a short amount of time, so if you do want to buy one, I hope you'll buy one now before I take them down. But that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you guys will enjoy my zines. And until next time, stay motivated and keep shooting.